And now for the instructional focus. The board will hear all about the March Blast program. I invite Susan Modisette to introduce our campus representatives. Susan?
Jim and I just noticed that the title included the word March. It actually was just this month, March. It's just the Blast program. Didn't want to throw the participants off that are presenting tonight.
Okay.
It's my pleasure to welcome Kristen Anderson, who I know you know as our AVID coordinator, is also the coordinator of our Blast program. And then invite Bill McLaughlin, who's the principal at Shepton High School, and Antone Spencer, the principal at Otto Middle School. And they'll introduce their special guests that will also be part of the presentation this evening. Thanks to all of you for being with us.
Good evening. Dr. Bingley, President Humphrey, members of the board, thank you so much for having us here tonight to share about the BLAST program. BLAST actually stands for Building Leadership and Academic Strengths Together. Shepton High School and Otto Middle School have been piloting the program this year. Bill McLaughlin and Antone Spencer and their teams are here. They'll be highlighting their experiences with the program. I'm so excited for you to hear about the impact it is already having on their students. Bill's going to begin by sharing about BLAST at Shepton.
Well, I just want to say first, thank you for giving both Otto and Shepton the opportunity to be a part of piloting BLAST. And we just want to spend a few minutes tonight sharing our journey of implementing this new program. But I do want to start by introducing the team that's done the real work here. And so first from Otto, they've implemented the Math BLAST program, Bonny and Fern Johnson. And then from Shepton, we've implemented both the English and the Math BLAST program. So in English is Chelsea Winbush and Audra Glidewell. And in math is Augustine De La Rosa and Anthony Barron. And our counselor from Shepton is Angie Novak, kind of hiding back there. You know, the program is great, and I think you'll hear a little bit about it. But as you know, the program is only as good as the people that are running the program. And both, I can speak for Antone on this, is we have some of the most exceptional educators involved at both schools. And you'll hear from him in just a second. Then I also want to introduce 3 students that have come with us to talk about their experiences. From Shepton, Leslie Segura, and from Otto, Malik Russell, and Anas and Shawnee. So real quick, our work, just kind of generally, our work has focused on building academic skills, at the same time building leadership and as part of the program. And we've really focused the work with our students on the leadership and working from kids from their strengths. The kids identifying what they're good at and the positives and their personal strengths academically and personally, and using that information to help them to grow academically. So that's been kind of the scope of our work. And with that, I'm going to have Chelsea Winbush talk a little bit about the work that she has done with the English program.
Thank you for letting me come and talk to you about BLAST. At Shepton, I am the English coordinator over the freshmen at Shepton High School, and it's been a great journey so far this year. What I love most about BLAST is that, as Bill said, we're able to really build the students up and their confidence level. These are the same kids who may be unsure of themselves, and the first 2 weeks of the course, all we're doing is identifying their strengths and working with those strengths so we can hone them and make them available to use in other classes throughout the day, and then not only in academics but also outside in the real world. Can they be leaders? Can they always hold themselves to the standards that we set in our classroom every single day? What I've seen in my students is they've truly transformed, not only academically but socially and emotionally. Seeing those same kids who couldn't stand in front of the class and do homework or present a speech, they're able to advocate for themselves in other classes. Not only have I seen them grow in my own class, but I've heard great feedback from their teachers, because we do academic conferences once a week, and they are really taking an initiative to do better in all of their courses. We have even promoted a program at Huffman where my freshmen go and mentor 5th grade students. And it is the most amazing thing to see our kids become leaders, become mentors to students that are very much like themselves. And they love it. They look forward to it every week, because to put a badge on them and to show them that they're leaders at Shepton High School and to take that same skills and to communicate that to younger generations, it's just an amazing thing. Blast is truly an amazing opportunity to see kids grow and transform right before my eyes. So I'm so happy that I've been able to work with them all year long, and I just can't wait to see how it turns out at the end of the year. And with that, I want to allow Leslie to come over and give her own perspective on Blast.
Okay, well, Blast has been a class that has challenged us to do better, and it also has changed me, like the person who I am. Blast has helped me improve in the little things in life. Blast has challenged me to be someone big in life. It has helped me realize things that I never did in the past. Making other people be better in school, even having to be a leader someday, which I never really thought people would come to me for advice or help them do work, you know? I honestly never thought I would make it this far of being chosen to talk to the school board. I would describe Blast as a class that helps students achieve their goals. It's a class that makes us be better people because it shows us how to communicate without fear and socialize with people you never knew before. Blast makes the tutors feel like the teachers. It makes them feel with more responsibility towards the school. In Blast, I have learned that to have a positive attitude towards every situation that we're going through. I also have become more responsible than what I was before. Knowing how to communicate with others was hard for me, but Blast made me lose all that fear. Blast would be a good class to add to every school. Grades would improve a lot, fear would disappear, and honestly, it's not a waste of money. Kids will be committed to do better in school.
Good evening, and thank you for providing the means to us to have the Blast program at Otto. I would like to take a moment to tell you how Blast and our work on strengths has transformed teaching and learning on our campus. In order for the staff to understand what would be happening in the Blast program, all staff members completed a personal strength survey and participated in training at the beginning of the school year to learn about the Gallup strengths as well as the Blast program. Teachers also participated in a book study on Teach With Your Strengths in the fall semester, in which teachers were given the opportunity to explore their personal strengths and discover how knowing their own strengths, along with their teammates, can complement each other as well as enhance student learning. The result of our work increased staff members' understanding of their own strengths as well as the strengths of their students. In a self-reflection exercise completed at the conclusion of the book study, teachers responded to questions such as, how did you use your top 5 strengths to enhance your teaching? Answers included, I used my top strengths to target and individualize lessons for all of my students' unique needs. By incorporating all of my strengths, I was better equipped to handle teaching to a diverse group of students. I have also focused more on finding and incorporating my students' strengths into lessons. This has proven to be very effective in keeping students interested and engaged. When I use my strengths in the classroom, I become more effective and comfortable with my teaching style. With the additional knowledge, teachers campus-wide were able to have informed conversations with the Blast students in their classes. The result of the program has been increased awareness of the power in cultivating a student's strengths as opposed to focusing on weaknesses, and has enhanced our campus mission of equipping our students with the tools to live a life without limits. Next, you will hear from 2 of our outstanding teachers at Otto, Bonny and Fern Johnson. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Bonny Pan. I'm the 8th grade Blast teacher at Otto Middle School. Throughout this program, I have seen our students grow as leaders. They are now more confident in their classes, they're more curious in their learning, and they're more willing to take challenges. We taught our students to focus on their individual strengths, and with that they can achieve anything. We built a community with Blast. They got t-shirts. They got a special recognition ceremony just for them. And they were excited about the program. And they wanted to be recognized. We have seen tremendous growth in their math scores because the curriculum reinforces the math concepts that are learned in middle school. You should see that, the minute that they get their score, they're so excited to write them down and show us and go, look, I went up this much. I mean, it's so rewarding just to see how they react when they saw the scores increase.
Good evening, I'm Fern Johnson, and I teach the 7th grade portion, so I've got the kids who are learning from the tutors. Thank you so much for having us here tonight. I can't say enough good things about this program. The main thing that I have noticed is the peer tutoring aspect of it, and to me that is just the most unique part of this program. The kids come in and they're being tutored by other kids, so instead of Miss Pan and I being, well, we're just going to teach you this and teach you that. No, we are on the sidelines, and it is the kids that are the stars. And that has increased a lot of confidence with the kids, with their math concepts, with the way that they speak to each other. And what it's also done for my 7th graders personally is they've seen, oh my goodness, I'm not alone. There's someone else that struggles just like I do. And they are able to take that and kind of commiserate with each other, basically, and then they grow together in that partnership. We have seen 7th and 8th graders start terrific new friendships. We have seen them become maybe like big brothers, little sisters, depending on the pairing, and it's just amazing. We see them even outside of school, like during lunchtime, they'll talk to each other, and just that whole community that's being built is just wonderful. It is positive. It has contributed to the atmosphere at school, to be one of positivity and working together, to know that just because you struggle with something doesn't mean that's the end all be all. We all struggle. And so to have that partnership with that struggle and then to see that grow into a strength, that has been probably the most amazing part of this program. So thank you so much for allowing us to have just a small taste of this program and just how wonderful it is. So we're going to introduce to you, we've got Malik, who's one of our students. Come on up, Malik. One for 8th graders. Yes. And so Malik's going to talk just a little bit about his experiences. All right. And Alice is going to be here to support him. There we go.
Well, in Blast, I'm more confident and I participate more in all of my classes now, and it just helped me become a better leader in school with other students. Like teachers can depend on me to help another student that is struggling, and I become a better leader in school and out of school in my sports. So Blast helped me a lot, and it's fun in Blast. I like teaching and helping the other, my tutie, because like when he struggles, I like to build up his confidence and let him figure out what's wrong, and he gets it done, and it's happy. It's fun. I like Blast.
You never want to be the adult that follows a good kid like Malik, but the general format of this, as Anton mentioned, the first 3 weeks of school was spent on kids discovering what their strengths are using the Gallup organization. So the first 3 weeks is identifying these are my key strengths and discussion of how do I implement my strengths to help me become a better student, instead of focusing on what am I weak at, what am I good at, and how can I build from that. And then after that first 3 weeks, they really go to work. And the general format of the class is, and it's not this way every week, but on Monday, the older kids and the younger kids are in separate classrooms working with their teachers. So our 8th graders and our 10th graders are learning how to be tutors and how do you work with kids and how do you motivate them, and they are working through how to teach a lesson. At the same time on Mondays, our 7th graders and our 9th graders are learning the skills that are connecting to what's going to be taught. And then they come together on Tuesday And that's where you see what the teachers were talking about. The teachers are really guiding, but it's the 10th graders and the 8th graders that are teaching the lesson. And then they go apart on Wednesday, same format, learning how to tutor, learning the skill, come back on Thursday, and then on Fridays are different skills such as financial literacy, health and well-being. Chelsea mentioned that they're taking their kids over to Huffman on Fridays, but it's leadership component based upon the strength philosophy. So that's kind of the general format of the class, and we're going to finish with the video, and then I know you guys may have questions, so I'm going to click this. I think this will give you a view into the classroom.
I have students who have said to me this is the first time that they actually understand a math concept. And this is the first time they've actually been able to keep up in their regular classes. This is the first time that somebody's made them feel special.
We could have like $535 for savings each month.
They're learning reading and writing skills and grammar skills, but really it goes beyond that. You know, the kids are, their behavior has changed in the hallways, they've taken on leadership positions, they're being more involved in school, all of it.
We learn like what everyone else learns, but it's like we get a head start.
I always tell them, if you're able to understand it, that's great, but the minute that you're able to explain it to somebody else, that means that you really, truly know it.
I really like the program and everything. I think it's good to be happening, and we're really here to help the kids understand the strengths of us and how to build as a person.
It helped me get a better understanding and to focus more on my work.
This class, like they really want to learn, so it's like more easy to learn in this class.
They have been able to go into their other subjects with this confidence, with this leadership ability, and it has just spread throughout their other subjects. Other teachers have come to me and said, this is amazing. I can't believe this is the same kid from August.
I'm reading better now, having better grades, and having 90s and 80s on my test, so it's very great.
I'm going as a leader, because like at the beginning, I wasn't really focusing a lot and listening sometimes, but now I really am paying attention and listening to my teachers and stuff. I really have been liking school. I really want to continue it.
Again, we just want to say thank you. We wanted to come and celebrate the work of the teachers and the counselors and the students, because they're really what made this happen. But I know Anton and I both appreciate the opportunity to bring this to our schools.
So does this replace the math class, or is it an additional class they take?
It's an addition. It's an elective course that they take.
I just wonder how many future teachers you're growing right now.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So how many students are served in each of your school programs?
We have approximately 100 students, serve 50 in 7th grade and 50 in 8th grade.
Yeah, we're probably just a little bit less than that.
So what's the differentiator between, you have a student who might go the AVID path versus a student that might go the BLAST path?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the initial selection process really for AVID is, I'm ready to jump into an honors or an AP course at the high school or honors at middle school. And for BLAST, we're looking at kids that down the road, that might be part of their story, but right now, maybe their grades, we're concerned they might not pass the EOC, or that maybe they're struggling passing the classes. And so similar type of a student, similar type of an internal drive, they want to grow. You heard Leslie talk, kids that are leaders, same kind of kid, different place in their academic journey, I think.
So how much additional staff complement do you have assigned to this?
One.
Each of you has one.
Yes.
So, go ahead.
I should say, how are the students selected for this? We chose our students based on their passing score on STAR, and some students who just barely made it, who needed some additional support. We also looked at students who we felt would benefit from being in a class like BLAST. So not all students who met that criteria were in the class if we didn't feel that it would be a class they would benefit from. So we really looked at, and that goes back to the AVID question too, we really looked at what will be the best fit for the student in making that decision, because you run out of places, you only have 7.
Right, and we looked at the same some similar data, but then we had conversations with the teachers and our counselors about the type of kid and their leadership capability, and could a class like this really help them to grow that. And I think you saw that with Malik and Leslie, and what you saw in the video as well.
Even students who may need additional support but may not be cut out to be a tutor. They had to be a student who we felt had that leadership potential.
And we even just finished a conversation with our 10th graders as they move into West. There will be some kids that we would consider moving them from Blast to Avid at Plano West.
I have a question for the students.
Okay, Leslie and Malik, you guys want to come back up?
And was the young lady in the green shirt? Yeah. So the question while you're walking up here, so you can think about it. No, Leslie was the other girl I thought. Is what is it that you enjoy the most about Blast?
What I enjoy most about Blast is that we get to help people that struggle, and it helps us too, so it's really helpful, and it's really fun. It's not boring, it's really fun.
Great. And Malik, what do you like the most about Blast?
Oh, well, it's to build the other, like the person that I teach, build their confidence, and to want to come and do it, and mainly to well, I like Blast because, well, it's fun to help others, and it's helping me learn more in math too, so I get like 2 things out of it, so
That's great. And Leslie, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Leslie, so what is it that you enjoy about it?
What I enjoy most about Blast is that we get to like basically be teachers to our scholars, and we really help each other out between each other, and like the teachers are really good. Like we get on the lessons, and we actually do what we need to do, and like we became leaders. Like we actually feel like we're leaders.
That's wonderful. I love hearing the common theme, that especially is that you're helping helping others out, helping out each other. That's fantastic. Thank you.
I'd also like to ask the students about leadership qualities. We talked a little bit about that, but how do you think leadership has developed in you?
Well, to me, like before, I used to not really I was organized, but not really. And like after a while, I started getting better and better. And like now everything that I have, like I have it in my labels and like math, this and that. So like I think I got more organized, and like now I can help other people. Now I can communicate also with people.
Thank you.
The way it helped through leadership is that I never knew this person at the beginning of the year. I had to like make a connection with them and build friendship, and so like I never knew them, so like in other classes I also help people, so it's not only in this class, so it's made me more confident to help other people. Like I can do this, I can help others.
well, it made me become a better leader. Like, and when we do class projects and other classes, I start being a leader for like helping others to do this and like do that, and for the project and out of school, like in my sports, I used to not like say nothing, but now I'm more talkative, and I'm more like contributing into what I'm doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I just. I would ask the district, I think what I would like to see is in a few years to track through this program to see how many of these kids went, what their path was. Was it a path through Blast? Was it a path from Blast to Avid? And I'm also interested to know how many of these students who will come through this program will eventually take those higher level courses, because what I'm hearing is a lot of confidence in students in ability to, being a leader is not just about when you succeed, it's about how you react to struggles and you react to failure. And so what I'm hearing is a lot of confidence with kids who are willing to take those risks. So I would like to know somewhere down the road where these kids end up.
Just before this group gets away, I wanted to say a special thanks on behalf of Dr. Wusso and myself. We told Bill and Antone today while we were meeting that this opportunity came to us fairly late in the spring last year, and we spent a lot of time considering, do we have a campus that has strong leadership and has strong teacher leaders behind them that could really take this on, because it was a big project for them, and we're so grateful to your leadership and the leadership that your team has demonstrated. Thanks for sharing that with us tonight.